Picture this. You're in a debate, not just any debate. This one matters. It's raw. It's personal. The stakes aren't ideas, they're identity, their pride, their survival. Your pulse quickens, your fists clench, even if you don't notice. Your voice sharpens, your body tightens. You feel it, the need to be right swelling like a tidal wave inside you. Across from you, the other person is doing the exact same thing. Two minds, two egos, clashing like ancient titans, wrestling for dominance in a battle that no one can truly win. Now, imagine Friedrich Nietzsche walks into the room, silent, unhurried, eyes like blades, seeing straight through the noise. He doesn't pick a side, he doesn't argue. Instead, he leans in and whispers something chilling into the air. In this battle, you are already defeated. Wait, what? You're standing your ground. You're fighting for your truth. How could that be a loss? Because, according to Nietzsche, the very act of fighting for your ego, the moment you need to win, you have already surrendered the greatest thing you possess, your autonomy, your inner sovereignty, your ability to rule yourself. Today, we're diving deep into Nietzsche's radical view on arguments, power, and the surprising strength hidden in silence. This isn't just philosophy. It's a blueprint for mastering every battle you will ever face and coming out not just victorious, but untouchable. Why winning arguments isn't power. From the time we are children, we are taught, speak louder, be quicker, be sharper, win the debate, dominate the room. We believe the strongest leaders are those who overwhelm others with words, who outshine and outfight. But Nietzsche looks at this and smiles, a bitter, knowing smile. Because true power, he teaches, isn't about volume. It's not about intellectual blood sport. It's about something infinitely rarer and infinitely harder, self-mastery. When you argue emotionally, you are not leading, you are following. You are being puppeteered by your fears, your insecurities, your craving for approval. You think you are free, but you are already chained by your need to be right. In Nietzsche's world, real leaders don't conquer others. They conquer themselves. The person who can choose not to engage, who can remain composed even while being attacked, who can see the ego trap and simply walk around it. That person holds a weapon no argument can touch. Sovereignty, the hidden psychology behind arguments. Let's break it down. Why do we argue? Really, Nietzsche would strip away the noble excuses and see the primal forces underneath. Fear, ego, insecurity disguised as righteousness. There are three dark energies at work. Ego protection. When someone challenges your belief, it doesn't just feel like a disagreement, it feels like an assault on who you are. Admitting they might be right, it feels like death. It feels like humiliation. So you fight, not for truth, but for survival. Power dynamics. Every argument, underneath the surface, becomes a ritual of dominance. Who interrupts? Who controls the tempo? Who forces the last word? It's not a debate, it's a struggle for emotional territory, a primitive dance for who will submit and who will reign. Social proof. And worst of all, we argue because we are watched. The real opponent isn't just the person across from you. It's the invisible audience you imagine judging you. Friends, peers, strangers, the world. You don't want the truth. You want to appear wise. You want to appear strong. We would rather be wrong loudly than correct quietly, because the fear of looking weak hurts more than the fear of actually being wrong. Nietzsche saw these pathetic games for what they were, the desperate theater of fragile egos scrambling to mask their fear of insignificance. And here's the terrifying truth. The moment you need to win, you have already lost. Will to power, reimagine. Most people misunderstand Nietzsche's most dangerous idea, the will to power. They think it means domination, brute strength, crushing others. But Nietzsche meant something deeper, something far more subtle and infinitely more powerful. Not the power to control others, the power to control yourself, the power to feel the storm, the rage, the insult, the temptation to lash out and stand motionless. Imagine standing at the center of a hurricane, Debris flying, screams in the air, and you, still, unshaken, unmoved. That is true power. Not because the storm isn't real, but because you are no longer its prisoner. This is the path of the Übermensch, the higher individual who rises above the petty battles of the everyday mind. The Übermensch doesn't argue. He doesn't grovel for validation. He doesn't need to fight, because his power is so complete that his silence speaks louder than any shout. Real-world example, the silent leader. Picture a corporate meeting. Tension is high. Two managers lock horns, barking facts, throwing accusations like knives. They raise their voices, they pound the table. Each word is a blow, each interruption a strike. The room becomes a war zone, and in the corner, a third figure. Quiet, unbothered, calm. He watches, he listens. He says almost nothing. And yet, when he finally speaks, the entire room shifts. Not because he was the loudest, but because he was the center around which the chaos spun. The one who didn't need to fight was the one everyone instinctively followed. True leadership isn't in conquering others. It's in mastering yourself so completely that others feel it. Emotional triggers, how arguments trap you. When you argue, you are no longer dealing with logic. You are dealing with identity. Anger, I must defend myself. Fear, if I'm wrong, I'll be humiliated. Pride, I must prove my worth to survive. When emotion hijacks the mind, two things happen. You stop listening, you stop thinking. You aren't strategizing anymore. You're surviving. You are no longer in control of the conversation. The conversation is in control of you. Nietzsche understood. He who reacts emotionally has already surrendered the field. The Übermensch, he chooses when to respond. Or better yet, when silence is the deadliest reply of all. Status, power, and the game you didn't know you were playing. There's a darker layer still. Every argument is a status game. Whether you realize it or not, every raised voice, every sarcastic jab, every winning point is about social positioning. And the real audience, it's not the person you're arguing with, it's everyone else. Who stays calm when under fire? Who betrays insecurity by snapping? Who needs validation the most? Those who truly hold status don't need to fight for it. They radiate authority because they have nothing to prove. True power isn't noisy, it's silent and undeniable. The silent power framework. You want to live this? Here's your blueprint. Pause before reacting. In the moment of attack, pause, let silence interrupt the spiral. In that pause, you reclaim your freedom. Ask questions, not accusations. Questions are weapons. They expose the cracks in your opponent's position without you ever drawing your sword. Use silence as a sword. Silence is not passive, it is pressure. Let the silence work. Let it make others reveal themselves. Pick battles ruthlessly. Not every war deserves your army. Ask, will this matter a year from now? Will this build my true strength? If not, walk away. Control the frame. Whoever defines the topic controls the outcome. Redirect, reframe, reshape. Own the battlefield without firing a shot. Final reflection, redefining strength. The world teaches you, speak faster, fight harder, win louder. Nietzsche teaches you, master yourself, master your instincts, master your silences. When you no longer need to win, you have already won. The next time you feel the fire rising, the need to shout, to defend, to dominate, pause, smile inwardly, and remember, the storm may rage around you, but the mountain remains unmoved. Silence isn't surrender, it is sovereignty. It is the most defiant act of power there is. Key takeaways to live by. Arguments are rarely about ideas. They are about ego. Emotional reactions hand over your power. True power requires nothing from others. No approval, no validation. Silence is not weakness. It is a sharpened weapon. Conflict is a forge. Use it to refine, not define yourself. Choose your battles. Ego battles waste strength, strategic ones build it. Speak sparingly, and every word will carry weight. Observe, understand, and only then act. Real sovereignty is the ultimate strength. When no one can pull you off center, you become unstoppable. Closing thought. Philosophy is not meant for dusty bookshelves. It's a call to arms, a guide for living. Nietzsche's challenge to you is clear. Do you want to win fleeting battles, or do you want to master yourself forever? The answer lies not in how loudly you fight, but in how deeply you can stand in the silence between storms. Choose wisely. If you're tired of shallow advice, if you crave depth, resilience, and mastery, if you know that true power comes not from shouting louder, but from speaking smarter, and sometimes saying nothing at all, you are exactly where you need to be. Subscribe and step into your evolution. The war for your mind has already begun. The question is, will you control it or be controlled by it?